my first guest, I should say, is a musician who goes under the name Shadow Bones. And he's had quite the life so far, including a fake fight with Liam Gallagher. I mean, why not? Let's say hi to Luke Williams. Luke, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm very good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm all right. I feel a bit exhausted this Monday. I don't know. I think it's just doing things again is wearing me out.
It's strange, isn't it? But I actually find that, simple things in life like going for a dog walk now is far easier because nobody's out anymore. Now you're allowed out. Everywhere seems to be quieter.
This is true.
Park a mile away from a car park and done the dog walk by the time I get there. So there we go.
How are you finding your new freedoms?
Great. I mean, if we, one positive thing certainly for me is if we never went into lockdown, Shadow Bones wouldn't have been a thing. So actually,
is that right?
I'm very grateful for it. Although I've been, writing and performing songs for the best part of 20 odd years, this was actually completely unplanned. It was kind of, we all went into lockdown. I've got quite a few friends that have brands and companies and motorcycle shops and things like that, and they just sort of said to me, "Oh, can you do a live thing, or can you do an acoustic song?" And I thought, well, I can do that. And just to sort of keep their social medias bubbling and all that kind of stuff. And the first song I wrote was called Freedom. And I thought, it might be a good idea to sort of write something that's kind of relevant. And then for the next 2 weeks, every night, I wrote another song. And then it seemed to have unleashed some kind of creative door. A couple of weeks later, I was speaking to a producer, and 2 months after that, we tracked the album. So it kind of happened very quickly because obviously, like myself, everyone was sort of at home at a loose end and wanted to do something. So,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. And I spoke to a lot of musicians, creative people who actually found lockdown quite. Well, it was. I suppose it was a moment when we pressed pause on our lives as they were, and then suddenly you have to find something new to do and something else to inspire you and get you going. That was what was happening, I think, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I just remember kind of sort of second month of lockdown, really, just things like a toilet roll or a tin of beans just suddenly became so precious. And it sort of made me really reflect on what I have around me and just sort of, I think, look back on my life. And that's, I think, where this inspiration has come from with these songs. And, like a lot of musicians that have, been going for a long time, everyone's sort of now a year behind. So I'm actually kind of writing now for album 3 because I haven't really stopped since that time. So things keep getting updated and stuff. But I've been so fortunate to work with the musicians that I have so far on this project. And there's big stuff, big plans in the pipeline. Obviously, everyone's still playing it safe with live shows and announcements and stuff, but certainly next year is looking like a very busy year. So
yeah, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? I'd completely forgotten about the loo roll madness. It's funny. It's funny things that come back into your head, and it's like, oh yes, we actually did that. Everybody just stripped the shelves of loo roll, and you couldn't get it anywhere. Right. Really weird. Yeah. Now, just tell us the Liam Gallagher story, because I like this.
So basically, years ago, I was in another band called Elmore, and we were nominated for the best live unsigned act at the time, which was a T4 show, if you remember T4, those years ago. And backstage, we met the team from Henry Lloyd, and they were just about to launch a kind of more of a high street kind of fashion brand as opposed to their normal kind of nautical side. And Liam had actually designed one of his kind of parkas with them. And at the time they had a shop on Carnaby Street. and we were playing in the shop window one Christmas, and I got given this legal contract saying that Liam's going to be coming up the Carnaby Street. Can you have a fight with him? And I said, I can. And they're like, it's fine, it's all legal, he's prepared. Anyway, it didn't ever happen, but we did play in the shop window. But yeah, I mean, that is just one of very many crazy stories that I has happened to me over the years.
Yes. And I hear that you are 6 years sober. So when all this was going on, were you in the non-sober phase, I'm guessing?
I was in the very much non-sober phase, yes. The partying with Primal Scream and Keith Lemon and all that kind of phase was around the same era, yeah. Okay. So I'm very much on the other side of that. And that's actually what Shadow Bones really is all about. It comes from two phrases, Shadow of a Man and the Bare Bones, because I feel with these songs I really opened up. And as I said previously, it sort of felt like it kind of unlocked a door to a time that I've maybe kind of left behind. So it's been difficult and it's been good therapy as well, getting these songs out. But I think that's why they've been so quick to kind of turn around, because they're all really heartfelt, meaningful songs. But hopefully I've put a good positive spin on them and made them more contemporary poppy songs now.
When you make that decision to, or maybe it's made for you, I don't know, to go sober, to sort of, and which is a huge moment in a person's life, isn't it? What changes in your life? What changes do you have to make to your life to get it to work permanently?
Well, I mean, I speak very openly about it on social media. I'm happy to do sort of one-to-ones, and people speak to me all the time about it. And old, sort of school friends' wives or husbands or vice versa, sort of get in contact with me and ask me questions. I'm always happy to speak to people, but actually, the simple thing is, nothing changes really in your life, and everyone kind of thinks that. If you don't drink anymore, can you go to weddings? Can you go to parties? How can you do this? How can I go out on a first date and not have a drink? And it's just you just don't. And it's so quickly it just becomes normal. And actually, it's great. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention brands on here or not, but. I work very closely with a brand called Rock Sober, who promote kind of mindful drinking as opposed to having to be sober. Yeah. And it's just kind of, we've all made probably the wrong decisions at times in our life. But what we try to promote is actually how many of our peers and idols are in fact sober. And actually for the younger generation, you don't have to go out and get drunk all the time to have a good time. You can drink sensibly and still have just as great a time. And we always, whenever we get together, because there's a huge sober community out there, and when we all get together, we just laugh more then than we ever have in our lives before, because it's just important to surround yourself with the right people. I mean, I was very fortunate in that when I made a decision, all of my friends and family completely backed the decision 100% and just said, useful. Well done. If you've got friends that are kind of like, oh, go on, mate, just have a drink, do this, do that. It's kind of, it's so difficult. But for me, I was never a social drinker. So if I went out to get drunk. Yeah. So I don't miss the kind of glass of wine at lunch or beer with dinner or anything like that, because I never had that. Anyway, it was just purely to go on a night out and go and party, really. Yeah. So, yeah.
Luke, lovely to talk to you today. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Good luck getting those live gigs happening eventually, and with all the new music as well, which is lush. Take care of yourself. Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you very much for having me. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Bye. Luke Williams there. This is the track, Love is a Reason. Shadow Bones, Luke Williams, and the track is called Love is the Reason. If you like to hear more music from him, Shadow Bones is what you need to look up. And that single is out today.